In this TLI special session, you will discover what Speechcraft is and how it will benefit your clubs and members, how to plan and market an effective Speechcraft series, tips to attract guests and convert them into members. The key to the success of your program is marketing. And our presenter knows a few things about marketing. Her college degree and over 45 years is in graphic design, marketing, photography, publishing, and printing. Born and raised in San Diego, she owned 5 award-winning graphic design studios. She has written 5 books on this topic and has presented over 2,000 full-day seminars on site in 13 countries on marketing. Invited to what was called a communication skills series, Sheryl Roush joined Toastmasters in March 1987. Yes, 36 years ago. She has since hosted several highly successful Speechcraft series, recruiting 10 to 12 new club members in each program. A 17-time published author, her solid gold newsletter design book, written for Toastmasters VPPR, PRO, and PRMs, became a marketing communications course book at the University of Ottawa. Sheryl is also the author of The Heart of a Toastmaster, which published 135 true stories of fellow members from around the globe and received Best Anthology from the International Book Awards. We are personally proud to say she is an honorary member of our As We Speak Specialty Toastmasters Club right here in District 23. With our session on how to attract new members and retain existing members by marketing a club Speechcraft series, let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster, past district governor, accredited speaker, Sheryl Roush.
All right. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters from around the globe. It's my privilege to bring you this information. I am passionate about marketing. And as you heard in my introduction, thank you very much, Jonathan. I joined during what was called a Speechcraft series, but they didn't really call it that, even though that was the initial name. How they got me through the doors that day was they called it a communication skills series. So let's jump in, and we have double check in the chat there because you have the handout for today's session. It was also in the email prior to this. So go ahead and download that. You're going to want to take a couple of notes for yourself. And as you go into your club officer breakout sessions, you're going to find this very inspiring, I think, to include in the scheduling for your club. This is where I actually walked through those doors, and it was March 15th, 1987. I know I'm still a youngster compared to our 1979 person who joined. And this was it in El Fandango Mexican restaurant in Old Town San Diego. Perhaps you've been there before. Oh, yes. And that's where I walked through the doors. And I'm still here today. So you can see why I'm so passionate about this program, because I know that it works. And there are people that are in your communities and in your states and your countries that need to know about Toastmasters and come into our district mission, and that is to serve them. So let's have some fun with this. Chat masters, I'm going to go ahead and pull up this survey, and then I'm going to take a look and see some numbers here. All right, so if you would, please, in the chat box, put a number 1, 2, 3, or 4 for any of these corresponding comments on the survey. Have you held a Speechcraft program ever before? That's a number 1. Number 2, have you attended a Speechcraft program? Number 3, do you want to host a Speechcraft program? Yay, we hope so. Number 4, will you be hosting a Speechcraft this year? It could be by the end of the calendar year. Let's say by the end of the term, before June 30th of 2024. Let's go with that, before then. Number 5, are you currently hosting a program? All right, let's take a look at some of these. Okay, light it up. What numbers do we have here going? Okay, yes, we've got yes. Thank you for the handouts. All right. And yes, this session is being recorded, and the Zoom masters can answer the question for you. Number 3, Oh, let's see, Bob, gas lamp district. It was a little bit further away in San Diego. Thank you. And in Bazaar del Mundo specifically. All right. So we've got a 3, a 1, a 1, 2, a 1, 3, 4, a 1, a 3, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Marcia Wood, District 26, checking in. Oh, UPDGs, you. Okay. Number 2, 1 and 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay. This is good. Good, good. We've got some 1, 3, 4. All right. Good, good. Okay. Do we have any 5s? I'm not seeing any that are currently. We added that one because in one of my previous sessions, someone said, wait, we need a number 5 because I'm currently doing it. This is outstanding. Thank you very much. Boy, well, I'm glad that you're here. And even if you're here for the other sessions, thank you for popping in early, not only to get credit, but also to find out how Speechcraft can really re-energize your club and support our district and club mission. All right, here's your next chat box contribution here. Marketing is what? All right, so if you would go ahead and pop into the chat, how would you define marketing? Let's go. Marketing is what? Essential. Thank you. Fun. Thank you. Selling yourself or your product. Yes, we have a lot of essentials. Sharing your message, promotion, getting the word out, identifying a need, advertising, a form of sales, informative, getting people to know you and your club, selling, increasing visibility. Good. Let people know us, generating interest, storytelling. Boy, this is great. Good defining what we have to offer. Brand awareness. Oh, and thank you, Ann Fenton. It is necessary. All of your answers are correct. So thank you. All right. So we can just adjourn the class now. All right. Okay. There's more. All right. So here's what I would say and how this relates to us today as fellow Toastmasters. It is that marketing is getting the word out. We are the solution to their problem. Yeah. If you think about, go ahead and put into the chat, why did you originally join? And I'll tell you a little bit of my story. Go ahead and put it into the chat. Why did you originally join? What were the problems? What were the challenges, issues, the desired outcome that you wanted from that somebody had probably invited you to a club meeting that you didn't know what it was, right? So speech anxiety, right? The fear of public speaking. We have several of those. Find my voice. Yes. Great. Social experience, inconsistency, impromptu. Wow. All of the improved communication skills, polish your skills, enhance your skills and career. Oh, TK, you were tricked. There's a speech in this. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Okay. I joined because I met a woman at a networking meeting and she asked me questions. Oh, you own your own business. What do you do? Graphic design studio. What's your greatest challenge in that? Well, because each of my employees is my senior, how do I treat them with respect and still give them feedback and get the job done? So I kind of joined in order to be a better boss. So whatever the reason is that you originally joined, there's other people in your community who need to join because of the same reason. So they may just need to be invited. And as the comments also said that marketing is brand awareness, yes, it is. We're going to be talking about branding during the session too. So let's break down marketing and how it relates to us. There are 2 markets for us in Toastmasters. One is internal. That is when we are publicizing something that's happening inside of our club, inside of our area, division, district, or even inside of the world, as in our 100th anniversary is coming up. In 2024 will be in Anaheim, where it all started in California. So internal messages. How can we connect with other people who already know who we are and our members? This is where we're really going to focus on tonight is external. So outside of Toastmasters, this is why branding is absolutely critical. And by the way, the new brand portal just went up 2 weeks ago. So I hope you've checked it out. Well, how does this relate then? Let's put this into some visual examples. This particular flyer is from Golden Noon Toastmasters Club. And as we break this down, all right, so this is 4 interactive sessions. Let's see if we can determine, is it for internal or external? All right, it's a Speechcraft, 4 interactive sessions. You're reading along with me, right? All right, so what it is, oh, do I want to? Okay, so now halfway down the flyer, there's something that might be of interest to me. So I'm thinking this is an external poster. All right, so then if it's not until halfway down the poster, I might not have read that far. I don't know about you. Do you want to communicate with confidence? Well, I do. Present with passion? Yes. Persuade with power? Yes. Find your voice and communicate with success. Okay. And then it starts giving some more details. So this is a promotion for a 6-week Speechcraft training program. Great. It could be all the elements are there. They just need to be relocated, not using prime real estate. All right, so here's one from Murray Hill Speakers Club. I want to say they're out of District 61 in Canada. All right, so become a better leader. All right, so here's the key questions. And this is one of our templates that's provided in the brand portal, by the way. So the most important information here, the graphic is key to bring us in. Want to inspire and motivate your team? ? Challenge yourself with Toastmasters proven education programs. Let us help you grow your strengths and accomplish your goals. This is great. And then it has some benefits for it. So great. So all of this is good. It could also probably be a little tweaked. Let's talk about meeting math, and we'll come back to some design factors too. If we are approaching non-members, or even having just a regular club meeting, and please make a note of this. You can take a couple of screenshots and really discuss this with your club officers. There are 15 meeting roles if you really look at our agenda, with 3 speakers and without overlap. That means that you are not the Toastmaster, the general evaluator, and evaluate yourself and serve as au counter. I know, we've done it before. So 15 meeting roles where there's no overlap. Then 1 Zoom master, whether it's hybrid or virtual. That means 16 people minimum present. You following me on this? And you're thinking, uh-oh, we're not even hitting half of that. That's why we're having this conversation. All right, so 16 minimum, plus you need a couple of table topics participants so that they are not also the prepared speakers. Then 2 guests per meeting if we are going to support the club and district mission to stay healthy. Yes, plus additional audience members. Oh my gosh, wow. So then even in a club environment and with our regular membership numbers, then of course people are going to be absent. So we basically need, write this down, 25 to 30 people. And you're thinking, oh, but we like being a small club. Right. How much extra energy does that require though? And how is a small club really serving the mission of our organization? And it's not charter strength. Extra credit. If you know what charter strength is, put it into the chat box. Let's see who knows. What is charter strength? Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. If you're putting 20 into the chat box, yep, you got it. Good. 20 is a correct answer. All right. So what's a healthy membership then? 20 is our charter strength for community clubs. Pat Johnson, past international president, wrote the handbook on corporate training programs, clubs inside of corporations, and she suggests 25 minimum. And this is where the HR department helps to ensure that employees, that there are 25 people in the training program at all times. But, sometimes we can't even count on that. All right, so we know that the more members that we have, the more creativity, the more energy, the engagement, the feedback, the fun, the guests, the educational accomplishments, it goes on and on and on. So please, from tonight's training session, if you would please write the number 20 onto your handout, circle it, put a heart around it, put a star on that number. That's the goal. And I suggest, and I challenge you to even have it higher than that because of attrition. All right, so let's back up the turnip truck and let's really pull back the curtain here and talk about, well, who might these participants be? All right, so far you've heard that Toastmasters Speechcraft program, it's our #1 marketing tool, that it could be a 4, 6, or 8-week series. So let me handle a couple of questions straight away. One is, when do you host these series? If you want to build your club or start a new club, host the program during your current club meeting. And here's why. And the people who are the guests or the participants who come in to be active in this series are called Speechcrafters. And the digital bundle, we'll cover more of this later, but the digital bundle accommodates 5 Speechcrafters and the cost is $50. We'll talk about the price and everything else. When we want to build our club membership, we need to bring people in. They get to experience our personality. What kind of personality does your club have? And it may even be a specialty club, like As We Speak Toastmasters is dedicated specifically to those who are pursuing the accredited speaker professional designation from Toastmasters. This year, if you were in Bahamas at the International Convention, there were 3 of the 4 at level 2 who qualified, including our 3rd world champion is now also an accredited speaker. So there's Mr. Dana Lamont, Darren LaCroix, and Verity Price. So if you are a professional presenter, you might already be eligible. Click over TK, if you would, in the chat box, please send us over to our Facebook group and where we can get some more information about As We Speak. So then it could be that there are people who want to become professional speakers. I didn't know that that's what I would learn in Toastmasters. I learned to become a better boss. And as a result of it, I found out how much I really love to present 3,500 programs on site around the globe. Just came back from speaking in Canada, and it was hybrid bilingual. S'il vous plaît. Oh my goodness. It was absolutely fabulous. So let's thank your club. And who would be ideal participants to invite into your club meeting? Well, if you were inviting a regular guest, you would do the same thing. All right, so geographically, District 23, we're focused on New Mexico, West Texas, by the way, all my exes live in Texas, and the Oklahoma Panhandle, all right? So if you're thinking geographically, but you can also bridge those borders with our hybrid clubs and our completely virtual clubs. You can have members from around the world. Please focus on not yet members instead of dual members. Focus on those other members of our global community that we can serve. With everything that we have benefited from, let's share it with other people. Are we good with that? Thank you. All right. So who are the ideal Speechcrafters? Well, questions to ask. Take this back to your club and in your club officer training sessions tonight. Then think about, well, who needs the skills that this program offers? Not only if you're VP of membership or PR, but every office, because we are each responsible for building the health in our clubs. Everyone's responsible, not just a specific officer. What are their pains, their challenges, their desired outcomes of why would they participate in a 4, 6, or 8 week session? When is it convenient to attend? So here and on the title page of the handout, then Annalisa's contact information is right there. Because if people are interested in attending a Speechcraft, but your club meeting is not ideal for them, reach out to Annalisa as serving as a Speechcraft coordinator here, that there could be another club nearby that then we save the member, we build the club. There's no competition here. We all want to invite people in to experience what we have benefited from. So when is it convenient for them? Where are they located geographically or virtually? It's okay. Why would they attend? Think about, you know this, what are referred to as benefits. And here's the bottom line. Will they invest? Go ahead and capture a screenshot of that slide. Will they invest? Our dues have just been increased to $60 every 6 months. Do the simple math on that. That's $10 a month. I don't know about you, but my Netflix is $16.95 a month, and I may not always take advantage of it. I may not even always benefit from what's on Netflix. Wow, $10 a month can be life-changing. I would not be doing what I do today and on such a global level had it not been for Toastmasters. I didn't even know about it. And by the way, when I went to club officer training in District 5 as Sergeant at Arms, which I really, everyone needs to be Sergeant at Arms at least once in their life because you have great respect, especially for in-club, on-site meetings. You learn what goes where and why. Around the globe, I walk into a room and I know what's out of place. I just know it. Yep, Sergeant at Arms. So while I was at that Sergeant at Arms club officer training, just like you are here tonight, they had kind of squished into that session something called bulletin editor training. I'm like, what's a bulletin? It's kind of an old-fashioned word. It means newsletter. I'm like, I can do this. I own a graphic design studio. Oh, Madam President, could I please, and cool your jets, Sheryl, cool your jets, serve as Sergeant at Arms, and then we'll look at creating that position inside the club. Well, we did. And I went on to earn 3 club bulletin top 10 in the world newsletters. And then the district recruited me to also be the district newsletter editor. So my point in sharing that with you is pay attention to opportunities. You may think that you're attending a club officer training, I know, for the umpteenth time, but you might hear something different tonight from our trainers. You might hear something that really sparks an idea and something that's really going to be supporting building your membership and building your club. All right. So, and you can also, if you want to start a club, and I'll get into the whole strategy of that too, start with a special event, not necessarily an open house. I've done some research on what the conversion rate is, and the conversion rate is considerably higher by having a free seminar with a guest speaker, and that you do enrollment for Speechcraft right then during that night. I'll show you some examples of it. All right, so what could some of those problems, those needs, those challenges be? Feel free to capture a screenshot of this, but this list is not complete. You could be adding to this for your own particular club. Again, marketing is identifying what are their problems and how are we their solution. And there's never been a time like now for us to be the solution to a lot of the world's causes and bringing it home to our own community. This next slide, the information is not included in the handout. Let me help you fill in the blanks of this, and then you're welcome to capture a screenshot. So for my Market Like a Pro session, there are 3 stages of marketing communication. And I researched this from David Ogilvy in his book, Confessions of an Advertising Man. These 3 stages must occur in this order. If not, the marketing has very slim chance of working. So follow me on this. Stage 1 is relevance. You and I do the same thing. When we're looking at something, whether it's a piece of mail or an email that comes through, we're looking at, well, should I read it, file it, toss it? Can I click away? Should I recycle it? It answers the WIIFM, which is what's in it for me. The time available to express that, yes, it's relevant to them is really short. It's 1 to 7 seconds. On a billboard, as you're driving down any of the interstates, it's less than 2.3 seconds. It's the same time factor on a web page, 2.3 seconds, or we click away. Relevance is almost a pattern interrupt where we need to grab their attention and bring them in. My favorite for doing that, both in speaking and marketing, is with questions that name the pain. You'll see a couple of examples of that. So stage 1, relevance. Stage 2 now, they're looking for confirmation. Was I correct? Does this relate to me? They'll give it longer now. It's up to 90 seconds. You and I do the same thing. And because there's 3 different types of readers, the average readers go through and read everything. And if there's a typographical mistake, like in the Toastmasters Promise, a few of you are highly linguistic, avid readers, you caught it. There were 2. And that's not counting punctuation. So then, yes, we're looking for longer body copy. That's your gift. You are fabulous grammarians, by the way. So confirmation, it's relevant. We've confirmed it. So now what do we do next? We take action, or it suggested what action for us to take. What do I do now? The time available here is as long as needed, because even though the avid readers are 10 to 15% of the American population, 10 to 15% are also functionally illiterate, which need graphic short words, and they get the idea from it, or that English is their second, third, or fourth language. And then the majority, 70 to 80%, are skimmers. We need the bullet points. We are quick decision makers as soon as we say, oh, it's 8 weeks. Yes. 2 hours a week. Yes. And it's only $50. Yes. Where do I sign? Boom. We're good to go. All advertising, all marketing needs to occur in these 3 stages. So one of the big mistakes that we see is the action item element. Our logo is placed at the top of a layout for an external marketing. They don't know who we are yet. And if they're looking at something and they ask, and pardon me for being blunt, so what? Who cares? It's not working. You and I do the same thing, at least in our thoughts. So here's one, let's see, and it's a cute little ad, but the text is buried. All right, we like the bullet points. There's 3 bullet points. However, if each of those had been pulled up instead and made a huge statement, that would have grabbed more attention. Here's one from Mitby out of District 123. So instead of leading off with the call to action of join for this great experience, they could have just switched the elements. Often when I review materials, they just need a slight tweak. This is a tweak. You like that? Tweak. TWEAK if you're writing it down. All right. So are you looking to improve your speaking? We want them to say yes. Learn the basics? Yes. Find out more about Toastmasters? I'm not sure. What is it? I would have changed that question. Anyway, here's what the graphic looks like that went with it. And it does really well as far as the branding. It is our Toastmaster colors, our fonts. It has a good layout with it and everything else. All right. So what they could have done was put the questions at the top and put information about the club lower into the layout and added a Toastmaster logo. That's all that needs. Again, nice little tweak. District 2, Speechcraft works. And I'll show you this because this is more of an internal. This is an internal for fellow Toastmasters to learn what goes into creating a Speechcraft program. They use great hashtags, and this was the graphics that went along with it. So again, this is different because it's internal. I would still use a Toastmaster logo, or because Speechcraft has a combined logo, I would use it whenever you're promoting Speechcraft. Here's another good example. Let's see, District 1 out of Los Angeles, California. As you skim it, all right, what's up at the top up there? That's a stage 2 element at the top. Second Saturdays is a stage 2. Register now is a stage 3. The bullet points are stage 1. So again, just modify the real estate there. All right, you getting some ideas? All right. The handout that's been provided for you, and again, thank you, chat masters, for putting it into the chat box again. Primarily, it's a resource for you. It is quite detailed. I'm going to point out a few things for you, though, and how what we just covered relates into everything that you are doing. So in the session handout, there we go. Title page, there you go. And you can also use a Toastmasters Speechcraft word mark if you'd like there too. And there's Annalisa's contact information as well as the Toastmasters Speechcraft site. So we're on to page 2. Overall, this is for your reference. All right. So as we break it down, again, a 4, 6, or 8 week series in 1 to 2 hours each. Questions that I get here. Do you have to conduct the series inside the club? Could it be provided as a community service to, let's say, a nonprofit organization or a speakers bureau for, let's say, the American Heart Association? The answer to those questions is yes. Yes, you can. The biggest thing we need to remember about Speechcraft is it must be club hosted. The person who is the Speechcraft coordinator one for every 5 people. So if you have 7 people, you buy the second bundle at $50 a piece. Then you may have a second coordinator, and each coordinator then receives credit toward their distinguished Toastmaster. This is vital in how our educational materials. Now, keep in mind, over my 36 years, I've seen it pretty much done it all, that our materials were getting ripped off by non-members. So you must be an active member in order to purchase the digital bundle. When the bundle is purchased, what's even better and clean financially is that the club uses its funds, credit card, Venmo, whatever that it might be, to purchase the digital bundle. You do not need to immediately determine who the Speechcraft coordinator is, nor the start dates. So all of that can be determined later. When the digital bundle is purchased, keep safe that order number. That's the key to everything. All right, so members benefit. There's a nominal fee for it. So what you might consider doing, let's do some more simple math here. If the digital bundle is $50, has 5 people, that's $10 a person. What if? All right, so then you heard in my introduction that I typically convert 10 to 14 people each time that I do a series. Here's why. Because you build in long-term membership for them, not that it's only 4, 6, or 8 weeks. So right there, it's a nominal fee for the digital materials, and ideally, club dues. Follow me on that. You can decide if it's going to have the new member or the new member fee or not. It might be that you absorb that and that they pay for the initial 6-month membership. So there's a policy in place that indicates how much you can charge as a maximum. It's $120 or equivalent to 1 year of Toastmaster dues. So that's it. All right. So if you're thinking, you mean we could charge $120 for an 8-week series? Yes, you could. And you will have them as a member for at least 1 year. That's a great way to convert. And here's why. Once they come into the Toastmasters experience, they get to meet you. They realize that the personality of the club. They want to be a part of the fun. They're experiencing the growth. They want more. So how we sell Speechcraft is that it's practice-based. And it is an interactive. It used to be a manual. It's no longer only. It is a combination where they need to complete things online. So what happens then to our regular members? Do they have to pay for the course? No, they get it for free. It's a bonus to being a member of that club. Now, your current members get re-energized because they are the mentors to the Speechcrafters, officially called guides, and that the member guide will be meeting with the Speechcrafter between their presentations, and everything that the Speechcrafter does is level 1. All right, sort this out. That means that in 8 weeks, they've given 5 pathways projects. They've completed 1 level. Why wouldn't they stay and keep practicing? See what I mean? All right, so here's a sample flyer. Now, notice that the questions are up at the top. Again, questions that name the pain, hand them back to the reader in the form of a question about confidence, facilitating meetings, enhance your communication skills. So again, this is a sample. The gray text up at the top is my note to you. All right, then lots of bullet points. This is a balanced layout for those avid readers and the bullet readers are scanners, are skimmers and browsers. And so you could use this, and you could even copy my text. You know, I've brought it up to date that it is blending in-person sessions with online interactive materials, all of that, immediate benefits. But don't just use my list. Add, how have you benefited? You know, add that, tell your story. So here then is a sample promotional flyer for the Speechcraft program itself. Again, practice. Sell that it is practice. That's what they're paying for. And this is the session, the series schedule here is based on exactly what is in the digital bundle for an 8-week series. Now, granted, you can modify it. Everything is there for the Speechcraft coordinator, all of the materials. It's a gateway. It's a portal. It's amazing how organized that it is. And again, for a member to complete their Distinguished Toastmasters, Speechcraft is one of the programs they must conduct. So everything is there. You could use this as a sample flyer. All right. All right. So where do we find those speeches, by the way, that need to be presented? Aha. They are called the Better Speaker Series set. Now you can create them yourself, but let me show you, because they're already prepared for you for free. And if you want to become a professional presenter, this makes it easy. I always love doing all of the advanced manuals and the success leadership modules. Remember those? I know I'm kind of dating myself here, like the Train the Trainer, from speaker to trainer. Oh, great series. All right. So every session, there will be an educational presentation. So then your club members or your visiting guest speakers who are also members can give those presentations, which then, from hearing from other speakers from around your area, your division, your district, or outside, then it's going to reinvigorate all of our members. So it's all good. It's all good. All right. So then this final page inside the handout I put together as a frequently asked questions. And again, I've highlighted a few things here for you. And down at the bottom, there is information regarding those educational speech topics and what's available for free. So keep this handy. And we're also we have the Speechcraft coordinator resource link that I've seen already placed into the chat. So you have a couple of things that you can work with here. All right, so let's back up a little bit more. All right, so we understand that it's going to be a series and that a member gets credit toward their Distinguished Toastmaster. So all of this is good. VP of Education, pay attention. Who needs to conduct a Speechcraft in order to earn their designation? Then how do we get it going? Glad you asked. All right, here's some ideas to enroll them. And as I had mentioned, not necessarily with an open house, which is a demonstration meeting. Click it up a few levels. Here's how. Consider having a special event. This is one that I actually did. And yes, I was a guest speaker. And I'm modeling exactly what we've been talking about. Questions that name the pain up at the top of the flyer. All right, it's a free seminar. And then it has a date, the time. My club in San Diego meets at Sharp Hospital. Well, when I moved from one location in San Diego to 2 miles away from this club, I walked in and said, hey, I want to transfer my dues. And they go, what? Anyway, VP of membership, always have applications handy, please. And that everyone in the club knows how to complete the application. Just going to say I needed to come back 4 additional meetings for them to have the paperwork, and I was going to join no matter what. All right, but that's me. That's not everybody. All right, so inside the hospital. All right, so this club had also adopted the charter of a club that was dying. Now, we're going to be really careful because we're talking about a hospital, but pretty much when I joined, the club had 10 members. And I suggested having a membership boosting campaign, suggested having a Speechcraft. My club, probably like yours, really did not know what it was, nor the power of hosting this type of program. So I did a pitch for them. I sat them down and walked them through exactly what would be required. And the final question was, who needs credit for their Distinguished Toastmaster? And sure enough, one of the officers sitting there said, well, I do. And he's quite shy about it. And everybody went, what? You do? Yep, it's the only thing. So he became the Speechcraft coordinator, and I mentored him in doing it. What our club needed was it was dying. Checking the EKG, oh my gosh, it was going down fast. And of course, our nurses on board said, hey, we need to revitalize this club or bury it, and I'm thinking, oh, good. Thank you for being on our side. So we did. These flyers went out everywhere. All right. Notice that it has, what it is in this interactive session, and there was a handout. This is one of my professional presentations, giving it for free. And I said, how many will the room hold? They told me, and I said, that's our number. And they go, oh no, we could never have that many people. All right, well, here's the results. So it was specifically, this free seminar was to launch an in-person Speechcraft program 2 weeks later during the regular club meeting in that same meeting room where the club was currently meeting. The club provided snacks. Oh my gosh, they did. It was like a buffet. It was absolutely fabulous. So then it was promoted inside the building with the company mailboxes, email posted on bulletin boards outside in the community. Here's the outcome. That number on the wall was 65. We had 65 guests plus 10 club members, 14 guests pre-enrolled that night for the Speechcraft that was starting 2 weeks later. We already had their materials printed up. They wrote the check to the club. They got to study it. And because those people went back to their coworkers and said, I'm participating in this communication series. Oh, it's so cool. And it's only, I forget what it was, like 50, I think it was like $50. We'll see. It might be on the next slide. And so then there were 4 or 5 more people who enrolled again. So then what we did after that night, after they get the value of Speak Like a Pro, then we invited them. We did the call to action. You'll see the next flyer here. Club results, 12 to 14 new members and a new distinguished Toastmaster. So while I'm speaking and at the end of, and here's my success story, they couldn't do it without Toastmasters. This flyer was handed out starting at the back of the room, walking forward to every single person in the room. Notice that this is completely Toastmaster branded. All right, so the tuition, we only charge $50 inclusive of the training materials and weekly club meetings through September 30th. Doesn't that sound like club renewal dates? Yes. How about that strategy? All right. So the bullet points, the check boxes, all of that creates relevance. So go ahead and capture a screenshot of that one because you could imitate this. We did a 6-week on that. And I'm thinking it was, so then when this was handed out, if people were not ready to make their decision, we would say, tell you what, come back next week in this room, same bat channel, same bat cave, right? That you will see a full Toastmasters meeting in everything that it does and experience the benefits for yourself. Again, it's not about us. It has to be about them. Experience the benefits for yourself. You actually get to practice. You may even be called upon for impromptu or listening skills. They did. Many people came back, and again, we continued to recruit on that. Wow. Amazing. Now, keep in mind, that was in person. This can still be done hybrid, and it's suggested that it's done in person or hybrid. Can it be done online completely? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. All right. All right. So then this is Bond Wang out of District 12, Inland Empire, Riverside, California. And he used my flyer as a model. So I'm showing this because that's what you're welcome to do, is to use all of this model. Feel free to share any of this information. Don't keep it to yourself. Marketing is getting the word out, bring more people in. And what they called it was a crash course. And this, they really did a great job with this. Really fantastic on it. All right. So how do you do this? What do you have to help you do it? Lots of resources. So thank you, Chatmaster, for putting that link into the chat box. Speechcraft is in the resource library. And if you have trouble finding anything, just do a search in the TI site for Speechcraft. Notice that it is used as one word and it's not a capital C in the middle of it. It's not 2 words and it is trademarked. So if you see non-members using it, That's not good. That's one of our trademarks of Toastmasters International. All right. So if you're not sure or you want to share this with other people in your club as you go back after club officer training tonight here at this TLI, then share this Toastmaster video. Again, all of this is right there on the site, and this one's on YouTube. This is item number 493, for the Speechcraft content as an overview. Remember where I got those 8 topics? Boom, it's right there. It's right there. Oh, and here they are. All right. So also, these are the topics that could be used for the educational segments during your Speechcraft program. Even if you don't host a Speechcraft, consider have your members actually practice giving these, because it's TI item 269. You download it as a zip. Each of these topics are included and it's free. It's free. It's all free. So what does that look like? Well, here's the PowerPoint slides and the curriculum guide. Again, free. These are the slides. And I double checked them to make sure they're still current, that the information is sound. Yes, it is. It's all good. And here's the curriculum. This is for the facilitator. Oh my gosh. If you want to become a professional presenter, this is what it looks like. It's all free. So then you recruit who is going to be your guest educational speakers, either inside your club or outside your club. Wow. All right. So then there's quick start guides. This one is for the coordinator, and you also have one for the participant. There's pathway credits. Again, I'm just going to browse through this. All of this is in the resource library. There's a Speechcrafter overview for coordinators. So you're the coordinator. Let's say you are a member of your club, but let's say for a second that you are the Speechcraft coordinator to get the credit for the series hosted by your club, that you purchase a bundle of 5 for $50. And if you have more, you buy a second bundle, second coordinator, double dipping. You can do that. So here's the overview of what your Speechcrafters would be seeing. Everything is all laid out. It's in a gateway, very similar to what Pathways is. Again, there's YouTube videos on this, and including the base camp as a Speechcraft coordinator, everything on the portal you can track. You can absolutely track everything that they're doing. And what if you are hosting your Speechcraft series inside of a corporation or a business? That's TI item number 8628. And that's the model for that particular piece. Well, you also have additional support from us as members. So Ann Golden, I attended her session. She is the Speechcraft coordinator for District 38. And she's also their Pathways expert. I attended her session and I said, it is by far the absolute best step-by-step Speechcraft coordinator tutorial webinar I have ever seen. And it is interactive, and it's really, really well done. She knows what she's talking about. So this is in the chat box for you. And as you download for the Word doc, is that those are hyperlinks. So all of those are live links. She's getting ready to do another program. She just did one for it's her, gosh, it's called a master class, for Speechcraft coordinator training. Her next one is going to be on December 11th. Absolutely outstanding. So you can go to the District 38 site and you can register from there. Then, because she and I kind of tag team a little bit, because I focus on the marketing and she focuses on the coordinator of actually doing it, mine's all ahead of time, then they invited me to serve on this Speechcraft best practices Q&A session coming up. And if you can copy that short link and put it into the chat box for me there, because this just came up. And it is going to be the three of us. So from District 13, 38, and me in 23, as well as 5, then we're going to be, all of this is conversation. It's not lecture. It's answering questions, anything regarding Speechcraft, and especially for coordinators. So that is on Sunday. That's in a couple of days. So you'll see that the times are posted there, or you can click at the Scan Me and go to it from there too. So you have a lot of resources. All right, catch your breath. Let's talk branding. Marketing is that we are identified and that our voice is heard amidst the noise. Let's just say it like that. Which means that we all need to use our brand. You and I paid a lot of money for our branding to have been refreshed in 2010. This is 2023. There are a couple of critical factors. You and I, and each of us, are brand ambassadors. We must support our brand, utilize it, respect it, and also politely inform those who are infringing to come back to the brand. All right. So here's the biggest thing that you may or may not know about. Clubs and districts are not permitted to create their own logo, theme, and or tagline. There is only one exception to that, and that is the district conferences, which are now held for the spring only. And there is more information on that in the manual. And all of this is live on the brand portal again, that just launched a couple of weeks ago. All right, so what happens if you remove the Toastmaster logo from the materials? Can you use different color sponsor elements? No. Brand is brand. So again, guidelines for fonts, colors, photography still apply and must be followed. All right. I love you, dear Toastmasters. And as a brand ambassador since 2010, please, 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 if your club has a logo, please have them modify it back to using the brand. We're all in this together. We are all marketing Toastmasters. And this is us. This is us. So Toastmasters goes into more detail. So for instance, you could modify it. Look at the upper right hand where it has a Toastmaster logo, then the name of the club under it. So if you have clubs that are kind of doing whatever, they went to a parallel universe, as I heard in our introduction a little, I was listening. All right, then bring them back into our galaxy, if you would. And then they can modify it to have the Toastmaster logo and their club name right underneath it. All of these other ones are forbidden. No distortions. Do not put the logo into a cartoon. None of that. We also have our color palette. This was well researched by Sasha Strauss from USC, who is absolutely brilliant in his marketing and all of his research. And this is what the research indicated would be ideal for our organization. And you know, the more that I've played around with it and the fonts and everything, it works. It really works. So here's what's new for us. In addition to our true maroon, which is a great, it's a vibrant color. You put that with the happy yellow. It moves people to action faster than any other 2-color combination. The loyal blue and the cool gray are actually calming colors. So if you're promoting your club externally, consider using the maroon and the yellow to make it pop to drive response. That's the color psychology. I've written one of the books on it. Anyway, here's our new color added to the palette, black. We can do some pretty cool things with black. I love it. All right. So what does that look like in a flyer? There's a question up at the top. The logo is a stage 3 item. It could be moved down to the bottom right. And then this would be in compliance there. And then maybe some bullet points, because it's a little bit time consuming to read the 2 paragraphs. And again, we want to be skimmers. So this is out of District 1, again, Los Angeles on that. Good use of branding and photos Now, here's something to consider is take photos from your club meetings with the permission of your club members. And TI does have a photo video release form that if your members do want to sign that, people want to know, well, what's it like? And what's I think is really special is when you walk into the room and you're going, you're the guy on the poster. Uh-huh. It's like, you're real. Uh-huh. Welcome to our club. And it's like, wow, it just kind of lowers a lot of the fear that they may have. So again, good use of the fonts, the colors, the photography, all of that. It works. And we have 2 brand new fonts. I love this. All right. So Corinthia is almost like if you wanted something to look handwriting, and you'll see another example of that. And you already have during the slide presentation. The luxurious script is kind of like a wedding script. That would be ideal for your anniversary and special celebrations. So if you're looking for, so then you would combine the other fonts for, let's see, I use Gotham primarily for headlines, but I would use this for a grabber of a statement or the name of the event, probably in one of these 2 particular fonts. And then Myriad Pro is what I typically use for all the body copy. And then, so you have those 2 plus this one. And here we go. That is Corinthia with your incentive phrase for the district. Yep, really well done. Images and photography. Do not use cartoons, illustrations, digital art, or clip art in materials created for our clubs, areas, divisions, districts, and regions because we are not cartoonish. We are not cartoonish. All right. So then, and definitely do not superimpose our Toastmasters logo into a cartoon. For those with corporate clubs or training programs, when using the Toastmaster logo and the corporation, make sure that they're never side by side. So what's suggested from our trademark department is to place the Toastmasters logo and the corporate logo on opposite sides. So they're not close together, not side by side, but they can be pulled apart on opposite sides or the corners of the material, or have one at the top and one at the bottom. So for instance, if I were promoting a Speechcraft as a communication skills series inside a business, I would have 1 or 3 questions that name the pain. Let's see, want to be more effective in giving your debriefs at the update meetings? ? That could be one. And then have the organization's logo closer to the top, not exactly at the top, but maybe 1/4 of the way down. And more benefits of that, and then have the Toastmaster logo anywhere along the bottom, and that this 8-week series is hosted by Toastmaster Club ABC. So any of those. All right. Okay. There's a little bit more here, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. So chat masters, please get ready to let me know what other questions that there might be for me to address as well. In this session, you discovered what Speechcraft is and how it will benefit your club. Yes? Yes? Especially reinvigorating your current members. All right, you've also discovered how to plan and market an effective Speechcraft program, tips to attract guests and how to convert them into members. Again, sell it as a practice-based series where they have mentors, where it's interactive materials as well. And you've also seen what kind of resources are at your fingertips. All right, so I have a couple questions for you. First of which, what groups, and I'd like you to light up the chat with this, what groups or organizations do you know of that could be served by a Speechcraft program? Go ahead and write some ideas into the chat and on probably the title page to your handout for tonight. And look to see what other people are suggesting as well, because that could also be a great idea for you, your club, and your Speechcraft coordinator to pursue. Go ahead, light it up. What groups or organizations do you know of Who needs us? Could a corporate club offer Speechcraft to its employees only for free to grow membership? Yes, they can. It means that the corporation is paying for the materials. That's all. And if they're already paying for the employees' dues, that shouldn't be an issue at all. Mm-hmm. All right, I am skimming to see your ideas. Boy, Annalisa, you have just been incredible on the chat. Thank you. All right, branding, got it. Okay. All right, thank you for all the resources there. Got it. Okay, aha, okay, got it. There's a lot of chat. Thank you very much for all of your interaction. All right, this is great. Okay, I found it. All right, what groups? All right, what groups? Rotary. Yes, thank you. And they are our official alliance with us. Schools, absolutely. So here's a consideration for schools, Rosa. Thank you very much. If they are over 18 years of age, then it goes into the Speechcraft program because the 18 is our age limit for people joining our clubs. If it is younger than 18, then consider hosting a youth leadership program instead. And our program quality director can address that perhaps during the training. Boy, Girl Scout, troop leaders, yes. And especially the parents also want it too. Any politicians, right? So city council, absolutely. Credit union, yes. Let's see. How about leadership skills for companies? Yes, definitely needed. Churches and denominations. All right. So there you go. Okay. Oh, and thank you for the plug there. All right, Luke, thanks. So if you want to see a Toastmasters branding compliant ad in the wild, drive by the Faith Chapel church sign at Indian School and Girard. Hey, Luke, take a photo and send it to me. Okay. I'd love to see that. All right. 12-step speakers. Absolutely. Any of the facilitators. Yep. Any type of support group. Homeschool groups, the older teens. Yes. Again, age limit. 18 and older, consider Speechcraft. Under, consider youth leadership. Schools, work, yes. Let's see, city employees, yes. Small company groups, yes. You could even do something for small business association and for entrepreneurs. So if you are those, have a Speechcraft program for them. All right. The staff of the local boys and girls clubs, yes. Companies, yes. And so you could make a list. Thanks, TK, because, you know, if you're thinking, okay, companies need it, yes, look at geographically what's located by you, because if you want to bring them, because not all companies want to have a company training program, but the employees may want to go to a community club. So then target the companies which are around your regular meeting area. City chambers, yes. Chamber of Commerce, yes. YMCA, YWCA, military clubs, sports organizations, college students, yes. Entrepreneurs, there it is. Thanks, Lucille. Any of the parties, any of the political parties, yes. Recent college graduates, wow. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Lucille. So you could have a program that specialized for recent graduates that is heavy on table topics with the spin toward job interview skills, and that the entire series, maybe 4 or 6 weeks on that, is targeted to help them with interview skills. Give you an example of that, and then I'll continue reading the chat here. Even before I was district governor in District 5, home of Helen Blanchard, our first female international president of Toastmasters, then I think I was in leadership at the time. We had a phone number that anyone from outside could call and request any type of support from Toastmasters District 5. And there was a call for a speaking program for an organization And would we be interested in doing it? Well, it came to one other person and me, and we thought, they're asking for a Speechcraft program. Well, here's who the group was. We originally started with Speechcraft just by the book, exactly using all of the materials for the NFL San Diego Charger cheerleaders, the cheer and dance squad. I know, a tough gig, right? 24 gorgeous, intelligent, talented young women. Every season, they needed to audition for those 28 spots on the team. As I looked at this, and as a trainer, I'm thinking, how can we customize this? So still under the Speechcraft umbrella, because we ran the meeting, and it was an hour and a half, 6, 7, or 8 weeks, depending on how many that they would give us, that it was run just like a Toastmaster meeting, with them doing their projects, including an icebreaker, evaluating themselves, all of that. It was a Speechcraft. We ran that for 20 consecutive years for free. All of us volunteers there were four female accredited speakers from San Diego and Los Angeles. There was a 3-time world champion finalist, past international directors, past district directors. All of us volunteered. The results were, and how we grew the program was a 3-level mentoring system, where by the very first meeting, that second year, the second year, the Toastmasters ran the first 2 meetings, and then we showed you would call them veterans, that they would start taking on the Toastmaster General Evaluator. Real quickly after that, Toastmasters would just be seated and mentor the veterans and the team captains, who would run the entire meeting, and they mentored the rookies. So again, it was a triple mentoring system in the leadership. The results are amazing. So these are the women that they're called on, instead of the players, for media interviews. We set things up to be an actual radio interview in a studio. Then we did some where they had rowdy fans. How do you handle rowdy fans who want to, hold my baby, hold my beer? How do you handle that and still be ambassadors for the organization? Absolutely stellar program. It was the only one of its type in the entire National Football League. The results since then, many of those who participated in our program, including the directors, have joined Toastmaster clubs themselves. They're strong advocates, whatever field that they've gone into. It's absolutely impressive, the skills that they learned and use. All right, so nursing staffs of hospitals and offices, first responders, SWMBE. Sorry, Kathy, I don't know what it stands for, but it sounds good and it looks quite impressive. All right, so nonprofits that need to present their grant applications, yes. Okay, 1 million cups, so that sounds like a nonprofit organization. Realtors, yes. Law students, yes. All of these, really well done. All right, so then my challenge to you is make that list and go approach them and see how they can benefit. And again, get into their heads. What are some of their challenges, their issues? What would the desired outcomes be for them? What's in it for them? Front load the message and sell it back to them that this is a solution to what they are looking for. So good, really great activity there. Who in your club could be of support? Quick answer, everyone. All right. Who needs a credit toward their Distinguished Toastmaster Award? There you go. Take that one back to the club. So then here's the next question. When could your club host a program inside the regular club meeting schedule to boost your membership? All right. So Ann Golden and I have thought about this and how long that would it be for a timeline. We suggest buy one of the bundles now. have people who are interested in becoming the coordinator kind of take a look at it, because that'll plan. All right, figure 3 months, figure 3 months. So you could do this halfway through your term in 2024, because you will want to have the entire club on board, the coordinator to preview all of the materials just to stay ahead of everything else. Have your guides in place, let them know what the expectations are for them. Invite your educational speakers so you would actually put people's names and what their credentials are onto that lineup. You could do that. Then plan your free seminar special event. Get the guest speaker for that. Get the flyers ready for that. And that's probably, you want to be promoting that for maybe a month in advance of what the free seminar is. Then have everything for the Speechcraft series ready to go 2 weeks, no more than 3 weeks later. And there it is. So I'm thinking that's a 2 to 3 month window. Be prepared for it though. And this is why you earn your distinguished Toastmaster, because of all of the leadership, the time, energy, and task management that goes into this. But boy, what it will do for your club, you will benefit, everyone in your club will benefit, and it makes us a stronger family globally. You have district support. As I've mentioned, you have Annalisa Martinez. Thank you. You've been lighting up the chat box for us all night. So reach out to her. If you're interested in any of the materials that have been mentioned in this session, the Solid Gold newsletter design, it's available as a PDF, or if you're in the US, be happy to sign a copy and send you out the original book. And again, this was Toastmasters approved and sold at conventions. Heart of a Toastmaster, this is the ebook and the print on demand versions of that. If you'd like a signed copy of the printed version, you can go to my website, SherylRoush.com, and order it. I'd be happy to autograph a copy for you. And in addition to checking out As We Speak Specialty Toastmaster Club, if you want to become an accredited speaker, this is the only resource that has been trademarked and allowed by Toastmasters International on the program, and either electronic files, or again, if you're in the US, be happy to email you the USB for it. So let's get ready. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'd love to see all your happy smiling faces and go into the chat box here and see what questions that we might have. I think I answered one of them. Let's see. Looking for, all right. Thanks, Marcia. Do the speech crafters use their own laptops and need Wi-Fi during the meetings? Oh, good question. I can't answer that. Sorry. All right. So Martha is nodding yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Got it. Let's see other questions here. Or we can have you unmute. So logistics team, let's go ahead and do that. Thank you. All right. So Jonathan, Tom, John, and Luke. What questions do we have? All right. Carol Baker, thank you. VP Ed, great. Please, right. What's your question?
Libraries are always available if you need to.
Sorry, Martha, you said libraries? Is that as a location?
Libraries are available to do the digital.
Some libraries have Wi-Fi in rooms that they can have the Speechcraft.
Oh, got it. Thank you. Okay. So you're looking at different meeting locations. Thank you. Okay. Carol, your question? Thanks, Martha.
So am I to understand these Speechcraft meetings are just held during the same time we normally would have had a regularly scheduled meeting?
If your purpose is to boost membership in your club, yes. Okay. Other options though, because what if you want to launch a new club? And it could be that you get them together, whatever is going to, where'd you go? I lost you, Carol. Okay. So it could be that I'm looking for my gallery here. Where's my gallery? There we go. Okay. So it could be that if you wanted to have a community program, that maybe it's there at their venue at their particular time, and that you just charge nominal for that. So you could do that. It could be that for a nonprofit organization that you absorb the fees and that you go to them. So you have options. If you're starting a new club, great way to do it. Again, special event for free. And then 2 weeks later, start a Speechcraft program for them. So you have options. Was there a follow-up question? Go ahead, Carol.
Yes. If we're having it, we meet twice a month on a Saturday morning. And some people find a conflict for Saturday morning. So it does make sense to me that we would have it on Saturday mornings, because if people can come Tuesday evening, but they can't come Saturday morning, why would we have a Speechcraft to increase our club's numbers some other time besides a Saturday? So
Yep.
I see that.
Again,
But
what's the
if we're gonna
purpose
have-
of what's the purpose of hosting
This
it?
is to increase membership in our own club, so we can get up to 20, over 20 consistently. And the more members we have, more likelihood of a guest coming with 20
And
members instead of 12.
it might even be, Carol, for your series, that instead of twice a month, that you make it every week to rebuild the club
Offer it on-
quickly. So you could.
Okay. Otherwise, I wonder, how do we conduct the rest of our club meeting?
You still do.
Business?
You still
Okay.
do. You still do. And all of that's in the agendas in the Speechcraft coordinator materials.
Good. Thank you.
It's all there. You got it. Mhm, Great
Everybody got it down.
questions.
Thank you.
Cheryl, we have a question in the chat. What does 12-step speaker mean?
I believe, let's see, there's been some responses on that. Oh, okay. My interpretation is a speaker for 12-step programs, as in Alcoholics Anonymous or any of our groups. Abused Women's Shelter. So any of them. There's a need. Boy, we are so needed out there. There's such a need. Other questions in the gallery or, okay, Carolyn, you raised your hand.
I did. How are you, Sheryl? It's nice
Wonderful.
to see you again.
Thank you. I recognized you when you came on tonight. I'm like, I know you. What's your question?
My question is, do you find that there is a better time of the year to host a Speechcraft more so than maybe not so good time of a year?
Thank you. And it's funny because as I was talking, Carolyn, I'm thinking, oh, this would be really great to start the year out, because right now we're heading into Thanksgiving, and then we've got Christmas and New Year's and Epiphany and, and Kwanzaa and everything else is coming up. So right now is a good time to purchase the digital bundle and review it. That's what I would do during this time. Then I would get ready to launch it. Let's say, have your special event second or third week in January, and launch your Speechcraft program before the end of January or the 1st of February for a 4, 6, or 8 week session. That's what I think I would do. And then when dues renewal comes around at the end of that session, they'll be renewing. Or you say, included with the cost of tuition includes 6 months of regular meetings for you to continue your practice.
I like that strategy.
Thank you. Who else has a question?
Sheryl, could you tell us how to effectively market Speechcraft on social media?
Yes, thank you. So the samples that you saw are good ways to what goes where and why. Follow that format. Use the branding. Unfortunately, a lot of the samples that I've been seeing have club logos, that they've gone astray. So please do as I say, even though I may not be able to show you. All right. So how I would do it, and I would harness the power of Facebook. I would not pay for ads. I would not. I have seen successful promotions on LinkedIn. So think about this. If your program is going to be inside of a business or a corporation, you need to be advertising on LinkedIn. Again, not for pay. Follow these. Follow the format of the relevance, the confirmation, the action. Use the Toastmaster logo. Lead with the questions. Give the benefits. Indicate that it's a 4, 6, or 8-week session. Call it a tuition, not dues. Call it a tuition, course dues. Refer to it like what got my attention was that it was called an 8-week communication skills series. That got me, and I'm still here. So, Speechcraft kind of it's a wonderful term, kind of a, fancy thing, but way back when we didn't even know, what? What did that even mean, right? So when you say communication skills, people get it. You can call it a course, a series, a program. Use TI's languaging around it. Don't stray too much from that. Grab some of the text and the bullet points from what I've provided you in the handout, and whatever resonates true for you, for your personality of your club, do that. Then reach out for personal invitations. So it could be when somebody clicks like on what you've designed on Facebook, pop them, and go, oh, thank you for liking this promotion. Are you interested in? What are your current needs regarding communication? How could you be a more effective communicator in what you do? Would you like to come to a free special session on speaking tips? Create the conversation, and definitely personal invites. So regardless of whatever it is that you're doing on social media, it's got to be a conversation. It's not one and done. It's that you post it, you give more tips, reach out to those particular people. But again, please represent using our brand. So social media, again, Facebook, LinkedIn. I've seen some effective things on Instagram. I don't know so much about Twitter anymore. Sorry. I think the X went sideways. So let's see, but definitely those. Meetup. Put it out on Meetup and Eventbrite, and connect with people that way. So whatever you're using, just apply this to have relevance to them. That's what I would suggest. Use social media. If social media is not your thing, find someone in your club whose thing it is, and then share with them the formula: relevance, confirmation, action, bullet points, questions in the headline, call to action at the bottom, and think what's in it for them. For your ideal person, whatever group that it may be, association, corporation, business, get into their heads and think, what are their problems right now? College graduate students, they need interview skills. They need help eye to eye, people coming back into the workplace after being virtual or hybrid for so long. Yes, put on shoes and pants and look people in the eye. We need refreshers. We are the organization to provide that and to serve those needs. What other questions? Oh, yes, you can use Canva. Thank you, Lacey. So yes, your Facebook post, you use the logo and branding colors, but you also use Canva and fun illustrations there to reflect meetings. Yes, just be really careful that the logo is not embedded into any of the fun illustrations. Keep them separate, keep using the branding. Canva is great to be creating a lot of these graphics. Also, PowerPoint, I don't know if you've thought about that. PowerPoint, you can create some really great graphics, get some templates going, you know, and run it by people, double check it on the branding and everything else. So one of the breakout sessions, thanks, Nicole, will be focused more on social media. So the answer is yes, use it. Okay. Got it. All right. Okay. So then, all right, Luke, thank you for that. So there's an option for 20 to 30 somethings. Thank you. I think you're talking age, millennials. Okay. Then Speechcraft could be streamed live on YouTube. Be really careful about this. So any of the social media, streaming it live, you risk being out of integrity with our policies. Because when it goes live and people are not invested in it, it's giving it away again to there's policy on this. Anne covers it really well in her Speechcraft coordinator program. If it's live, streamed on YouTube or Facebook, you have no control over who's watching it. I would, however, do the free seminar to enroll people. Thanks, David, for nodding. Thank you. Yeah. Otherwise, we lose the integrity of the program. I don't know how else to say it other than that. And it could be an infringement of, because you do sign off when you purchase the Speechcraft program that it will not be used for certain things. And so be real careful with that. However, promote it. You can definitely promote it. You could have people, you could do a live streaming of people who have just completed a program and that, oh my gosh, I had no idea how much this would help me in my job, and get those going. So there you go. All right. Question, Martha, go ahead.
Yeah.
Trolls. Thank you. Open to trolls. Thank you.
Be careful when you do YouTube or TikTok. My
Or Facebook
sister
Live.
in District 26, they did a live Speechcraft. And let's say it was not Toastmasters brand name that came across the screen. So there are kids that have nothing better to do except to hijack your presentation.
Yep. And again, do not publish the links, you know, same thing. So this is an investment. The Speechcraft educational program, a lot of money went into this. It's yours and my money. Just like our brand, let's protect our educational program. For a fraction of a paycheck at $10 a month, at $50 for an 8-week course, honor that. Respect it all. A lot of intellectual property, and it is well crafted. You know, it's well crafted. Wow. Well, as we get into wrap it up here, let me add a couple comments to you. That it was a woman at a Chamber of Commerce meeting or a network breakfast who started the conversation with me when she found out that I owned my own business. She asked me what were the greatest challenges that I was facing as a business owner. I am here today, 36 years later, because she asked me the questions and she listened. She paid attention. She listened with her heart. She was able to invite me to a free breakfast at 7 a.m, huevos rancheros, flying across the room, tortillas, plates, falling, crashing on the floor. If you can speak and keep your wit about you at that time of the morning, you can speak anytime, anywhere. That's the gift that she gave me for listening to my heart. So please bring this program into your club, into your community. Give people a sense of hope. Give them some skills that they can use in today's marketplace, whether it be for personal or professional growth. And everything that we do in Toastmasters, everything has a purpose. So you may think, oh, well, I'm this office, but it doesn't really matter. Yes, it does. Find ways to transfer those skills into other areas of your life and help this planet become better for better leadership and more enhanced communication. It's been my privilege to serve you, fellow Toastmasters.